Toronto, thank you for letting me into your country. Things are a little tense right now. So we flew into Montreal, right, for the first show, day before yesterday. And we go through the customs things. We get to the last guy before you enter the beautiful country of Canada. And he starts looking at me. And this is a man in a uniform. I don't know if you guys know anything about my history, but men in uniform at airports in foreign countries make me nervous. So we walk up to this man, and he looks at us, and he is French, he is Quebecois. So he looks at us, and he says, welcome, Americans. You want to be friends now, eh? It's okay, we accept you, come on in. And we're like, fuck. So he was busting our balls a little bit, you know? He was being cool about it, but you could tell he fucking meant it a little bit too. So I don't fucking blame it. Let's get that out of the fucking way, you know what I mean? So we made it safely into Canada, thank fucking God. You know, I'm so happy to be here in Toronto, I really am. The city has been great to me. That being said, most of you know, I'm used to being on stage in front of people, a lot of fucking people, right? A whole lot of people, but this is a little bit different. I'm looking around here on this lovely stage, and I appear to have forgotten to bring some stuff. A lot of fucking stuff, right? All my stuff. Where is the giant wall of cabinets over here? Most of them are fake, you should know that, but they look really fucking cool, right? Where is my drum riser? I need something to jump off of. This organ looks too expensive. I'll fucking break it. You know? Where's my lighting guy? Where is he pressing the fucking button, trying to give everyone a seizure right now? He's not here. Where is my pyro guy? Do you know how awesome it is to have a pyro guy? It's like having your own personal wizard. He presses a button and 50 fucking foot flames go behind you. It's amazing. You feel like a human dragon. Where is he? Where is my pyro guy? He is right there. That's my friend Rory. He's Canadian. And that is my pyro guy. Why aren't you pressing the fucking button, dude? Where's the fire? Jesus Christ. Furthermore, where are my guitar techs? They're not actually my guitar techs. They're my guitar player's guitar techs. That means I have zero fucking clue of what they do, right? I think he makes it loud. I think that's their job. But it's reassuring for me when I see them doing all this stuff because it lets me know, the show is going on. Everything is cool. Everything is normal, you know? And all of this stuff, it's distressing for me to not have all of this stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, the main purpose of all this cool looking shit and the fire, dude, is to distract you guys, the audience, from when I get distracted and forget where I am in the middle of a song, right? Normally because I'm thinking about some dumb shit, like how I forgot to cut my grass before I left for tour. You know, I'm nervous without all that distracting stuff because I live just like every single one of you in this highly distracted world, you know? And I'm a middle-aged man, and let's face it, this isn't getting any sharper, you know? As some of you know, I used to enjoy drinking a little bit, maybe 30 or 40 beers a day. That doesn't do wonders for the brain. And we do live in this highly distracted world, this world of screens everywhere. They're constantly there, just blaring at you. And we all have one with us right fucking now in your fucking pocket. Thank you for not using it right now and being present with me. Because when you pull it out, it's like, fuck you, bad news, especially lately. Because I don't know if you guys have been looking at the news from my country. But it's not fucking good, right? Like every day I pull out the phone and I'm like, oh God, what did he say? He's fucking with Canada? What the fuck? They're our friends. This makes no sense. They're so polite, so friendly. They backed us up in every fucking stupid war we've ever been in. Why would we do that? They're our allies. It's totally crazy. It makes me feel crazy. I start feeling Canadian. I'm like, okay there, bud, that's enough. This is fucking Canada, eh? It's never, ever, ever gonna be the 51st state. You know, it's crazy. And then they have, not only him, he's got a Canadian citizen named Elon Musk running around in the White House. So we got him and the orange guy. It's like having Mr. Leahy and Randy from the Trailer Park Boys run your fucking country. It's super fucking distressing. By the way, I want you guys to know, fully half of my country at least is like, fuck those dudes. So thank you for allowing me in your country once again, you know? So I don't have all those things, the screens. And so all of this makes me nervous, very nervous without all this stuff because I know I'm distracted. And I know I'm missing one more thing, one very important thing, and that is I am missing my dudes. My band, right? I've had my band on stage with me every single time I've walked on stage for almost 30 years now. That's my entire adult life. I love my fucking dudes. They're like a security blanket, like a really hairy, sweaty, middle-aged security blanket with a receding hairline and bad knees and lower back issues. I love my fucking dudes, but they're not here. So it's just me and a microphone. And all of you people, I think it's just a matter of perspective, of seeing things in a proper, rational, balanced perspective. And that, my friends, is what the new book you have in your hands is all about. It's about my search for a rational perspective in a crazy, crazy world. Thank you guys for sticking with me tonight. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. You must never be afraid to raise your fist, even if it's your voice, to protect yourself, to do the right thing, to say the right thing. Fuck all these crazy people that are trying to ruin the world. Do the right fucking thing. Conversely, though, if this is your first thought, if this is what you always lean to immediately, you are living in fear, my friends. And if you're living in fear, like, you're going to miss out on the best part of life, and that's the joy. So no matter what you're going through in your life, no matter what difficulties you're facing, no matter how scary it is, say to yourself, bring forth the joy. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight, and thank you for fucking bringing me some joy. Thank you very much. We're going to do a Q&A. My friend, Sam Dunn, Canadian film legend, come on up. Take a chair.
We sitting in the thrones?
Of course. It's metal, dude.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here in Toronto. We're glad you made it.
Me too.
You know, I want to start maybe a little earnestly because I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
It comes naturally.
Yeah.
We first met in 2004 in a bar right next to the Opera House. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed you and Mark for our first film.
Yeah.
Metalhead Banger's Journey.
Banger's Journey.
And we had never met before.
Fantastic fucking movie. And I must say, one of the greatest quotes of all time, Satan.
All I want to say is that that was the start of our journey at Banger. And we've somehow managed to carve out a career of making films about metal and other styles of music. There's like a generation of bands. It's like you guys, Mastodon, Opeth, Gojira, etc., who I'm so proud of what you guys have accomplished, because you guys came up in a time where it's like fucking impossible to make it as a metal band. We're talking like the digital revolution has hit, you know, the record sales are tanking, the odds are so stacked against you and all of those bands. So I just want to say thank you to you and to Lamb of God and all your peers for all the fucking hard work you guys put in to be where you are because we love your music. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be here without these people, you know?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. You know, us coming I remember playing the Opera House and it just being fucking nuts. And I'm like, "Holy shit. They like us in Canada." You know? It's fucking amazing. Yeah. Canada's been great to us.
I want to talk a bit about the second book because I've read it and so many characters in that book that I found so compelling. The Duke,
right?
Your grandmother,
yeah.
Dave Brocky,
yeah,
many others. Your first book, Dark Days, to me kind of made sense why you would write that book because of what happened to you
right.
in the Czech Republic. This is a insane story of something that happened to me, and let's get it down.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you is, why write the second book? Or what did you get from writing the first book, and why get back in the ring and write a second book?
Right. Well, I had to be convinced to write the first book. You guys know the story, I'm assuming. Most of you. That's not something to cheer for, dude. Right? It's not a happy tale of joy. I got done with all that, and then my booking agent was hitting me up. He's like, "I want you to talk to a literary agent friend of mine." And I was like, "No, I know he wants me to write about going to prison." And I figured I would write about it one day, but I didn't think I was ready. And my booking agent, Tim Bohr, kept on bothering me. And I've had a long-term relationship with him. So I'm like, okay, I'll do you a favor, and I'll talk to this guy. And sure enough, he wanted me to write about going to prison. And the guy I was talking to is my agent, Mark Gerald. And I said, "Look, dude, I'm going to write about this one day. But emotionally, dude, I'm fucked up right now. And I have very clear memories of everything. I remember everything. I remember smells and sounds and the way the place just felt. I have those memories. It's going to be okay to write them one day." And he goes, "Yes, but those memories are going to fade." Because they do. And I'm like, fuck, you're right. So he kind of convinced me to write the book that way. Also, when you go to prison in a foreign country, people are like, "What was it like?" And now the easiest thing to do is say, "I wrote a 500-page book. It will answer all your questions because I do not want to relive the worst time of my life again and again and again. It's at the bookstore." You know, and it's worked, you know. I've always wanted to be a writer. I didn't think my first book was going to be about going to prison. And then after I wrote that book, I was like, I don't want to write nonfiction. I don't want to write about my life, right? I want to write fiction. And my agent, it's his job to sort of guide your career as a writer. He's like, "You have to write another nonfiction book first to prove to publishers that you're not just a one-trick pony, that your writing ability is not contingent on this sort of crazy story that happened to you. So you need to write another nonfiction book. And then you can go write vampire novels or whatever that you want, which is what's going to happen next, right? Most definitely. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to write a vampire novel. So, like, I'm like, fuck, what do I write about? And, you know, my band keeps me busy, so it's hard for me to write on the road, and we haven't had much of an extended break, but COVID happened. That's an extended break. So I went back and forth with my agent about ideas for a new book. I wanted to write a book about originally I wanted to be 3 things that have changed my perspective for the better. And one is photography, because it literally changes your perspective, the way you look at things. The other one is travel. I talked a little bit about travel tonight. I think traveling is the best thing, man. You get to meet and learn so much, and it doesn't keep you in this fucking ignorant mind state, because there's fear of other people. There's so much fear. And if you go and travel and meet fucking human beings, it's like cool, you know? And then the other thing I wanted to write about that has changed my perspective for the better is surfing, because it has changed my life for the better. So I kind of put those things together, and I was like, ooh, this could be a paid surf trip, right? That I'll write about. I'll be like, I'm writing a book, and off I go to catch waves around the world or whatever, you know? But my agent was like, no. And I'm like, fuck. But he liked the idea about perspective. So I started thinking, I just want to write a book on perspective. And that's what turned into this one.
Cool. Thank you. I mean, there's some big topics in the book.
Yeah.
Like the big stuff: life, death, fear, morality, belonging, hope. But what I appreciated about it was conveying all of that giant stuff through these everyday stories of people you've met along the way, and what can be gleaned from relationships that you've established with people just in everyday life.
Right. Well, I'm not an academic. I haven't lived in, I mean, you're a fucking anthropologist. You're a real smart guy, right? I'm a ding-dong from Virginia, like, who gets to travel the world. I'm not a college-educated philosopher or anything. So to me, it seemed that would be the best way to convey these sort of ideas I have without going into, like, too much heady, too wordy, too much academic stuff, because I can turn people off, and there's a place for those type of books. Some of my friends have written them, like heavy duty academic books, but I wanted a book that anyone could read and maybe look at it and make it ask themselves some questions, So the book is not like, these are my answers to life, the universe, and everything, Shout out to anyone who recognized what I'm talking about out there. 42, Douglas Adams. I just have more questions. I'm a work in progress. I think we all are. So I want the book, if anybody takes any things away from it, is some questions so that they could ask themselves, like, examine their life and think, what tools do I have at my disposal right here, right now in my life? Not waiting forever until I get this right and this right and this right, but what can I use right here, right now to improve my life and maybe make the world a better place? Because those are the questions I'm trying to ask myself. Everybody has something to offer.
And are you ultimately hopeful?
Yeah. I have no choice. There's definitely a grim side to me. There's definitely a side, like, from Norway or something. Like a black metal. But no, I have to be. Because if I sit there and just am wallowing in negativity, then I don't think I can do anything to make the world a better place. That doesn't mean I ignore things. Yeah. It just means I can't let them consume me.
Yeah. I was really drawn to a lot of the stuff you talk about in the book about connection and disconnection.
Right.
Whether we're connected or disconnected because of digital culture, smartphones, all of it. You spend quite a bit of time in the book talking about that.
Yes.
And do we somehow get sold on the idea that we're disconnected in order to usher in the idea that we could be better connected through social media, et cetera? I don't know about people in the crowd, but like I never felt a sense of disconnection that demanded, the Facebooks of the world, the Twitters of the world, the Instagrams of the world to kind of make me feel more connected with the people around me. Does my question make sense?
Yes. No, it makes sense. And I think, though, look, dude, we're old, right?
Copy.
I think that's part of it,
yeah.
Right? I think it's the fact that we grew up in an era before smartphones. Yeah. I didn't have a computer with internet or anything until I was, like almost 30. You know what I mean? I think there's a sort of difference in between our mentality, your mentality, and my mentality from growing up with that way and then sort of being slid into it and seeing it as like, oh, this is a new thing, as opposed to this is life, young people growing up with this sort of digital interface. It's obviously a useful tool. Like you and I use the phone to talk or whatever. And I think it's rad that I can talk to my friends in Finland with FaceTime for free as long as there's fucking Wi-Fi or whatever. But I do think that there is a very real disconnect when we mistake this for this. Yeah. This is real, dude. You and I are sitting here in badass thrones right now. Yes. It's pretty fucking metal, right? You and I in a chat room is not the same, So these are valuable tools, I'm not like, this fucking sucks, don't use your phone. But don't let it be your primary method of connection. We are social animals, whether we like it or not, you know? And I certainly am like, fuck everyone sometimes. But I need to see people, you know? And I need to touch people, and I need to shake people's hands. And I think that was really made evident during the whole COVID thing too, you know? It's a very tough time because people were like cut off from each other. It took a toll on people, man. So we need this, man. And that's why I really wanted to go do this tour, man, for one thing. Because, like, I get to see all you motherfuckers every night. It's fucking awesome, right? So thank you for being here with us. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Great. Any questions?
Questions for both of you. Randy, you talked about movies a little bit today with David Lynch. I was just wondering, what are, off the top of your head, some of your favorite movies? And part two, will we ever get HD versions of Metal: A Headbanger's Journey and Global Metal? Because I've been trying to find Metal, even to pirate it, and I can't fucking do it. I need to go to the library.
Trying to steal your shit, Don.
I would buy it.
I'm old, bro.
I know.
I would buy. I'm very stupid with my money, so if you put it out there, we'll buy it. Please release it. Even
You're
on
fucking
iTunes,
rad. I'm very stupid with my money. That's awesome. My favorite movie of all time is a movie called Lost in Translation, right? And it's also the favorite movie of a friend of ours named Alex Skolnick. You know Alex from Testament, you know, and we bonded over that. You know, I think if you've never been to Japan, it gives, especially as a tall guy, it gives you the best sort of idea of like what it's like to land in Japan, and you feel like you're on drugs. Like you can be straight edge your whole life. If you go to Japan from here, you will feel like you're on drugs because jet lag is fucked up, right? And then you land in Tokyo, and it's like a nuclear mind fuck. There's just like bright lights and anime characters everywhere, like, wah, wah, wah. It's wild, you know? And it has such beautiful moments in it. So I love that movie so much that I made a trip to Japan to go to every spot in that movie, you know? And then as far as David Lynch movies, I love Blue Velvet. So it's a great movie.
Our first film is 20 years old as of this year. Headbanger's Journey came out in 2005. Work in progress. Maybe we'll do an anniversary. Yeah, we're working on some stuff.
Unacceptable. Yeah. I want it now.
Other questions? Yeah.
Hi. I've been following you for a while, and I've been really enjoying your photography.
Right.
And so I'm wondering a little bit if you can speak a bit about your photography, because I feel like there's a parallel between people are people and then the pictures you're taking.
People ask me what my favorite thing to take pictures of, and I'm like, human beings. I love taking pictures of people. I love old people. I fucking love old people, man. I love looking at their face and just the lines and the stories in them, you know? And when I take someone's portrait and I take a picture, I don't want to be like, let me take your picture and like, I'm going to steal your soul and this is going to be awesome for Instagram later or whatever. I enjoy talking to people in the photographic process. My favorite portrait I've ever taken was of a woman at a gas station, right? And I was going surfing with some buddies of mine, and we were in North Carolina on the Outer Banks. And this woman, we're getting gas, and this woman comes up to us, and she's this beautiful black woman. She's got dreads down to here, and she has these incredibly white teeth with a huge gap right in the front, right? It looked awesome, right? And she had this beautiful smile. And she walked up to us, and she's like, she was getting some gas for a gas can for a lawnmower, I guess. She's like, this is stuck. Can you help me? And I'm like, absolutely. And brings it over here, and I take it off. And she's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, can I take your picture? You look fucking awesome, right? And she was like, I've been having a really bad day today, and you just made me feel really good. So thank you. And then, absolutely, you can take my picture. So I grabbed the fucking camera, and this chick just turned it on. It was beautiful, right? I could see it was happy. Her eyes were glowing, and it's my favorite portrait of a human being I've ever taken. And we had this brief interaction, and it came out of me being willing to help her. She didn't know me and my friends, You know, we're in this gas station in the middle of nowhere, but she was confident enough that we looked friendly enough that we would help her. So there was this meeting, you know, where not that much what was said, but we showed each other compassion. You know, we showed each other that we cared for each other and humanity, and that resulted in this, like, what I think is just a beautiful, beautiful portrait of this woman. And so when I shoot portraits of people, it is a way of connecting. It really is. And then sometimes things just look cool. Sometimes shit just looks fucking neat.
I've really enjoyed your Substack up until the release of this book. I'm
Thank
just
you.
curious if you're going to continue writing on the Substack
Yes.
after the release of the book.
But I realize I like to put at least one a week up if people are going to pay. I don't think they should pay me to do fucking nothing. And so about a month before this book tour, I've been doing nothing but doing press. Nothing. And then walking around in my garage yelling about Sharon, practicing, right? Like, I sounded like a crazy man for a whole month, like practicing these stories, trying to remember them. And so I haven't had time to write, so I paused the paid subscriptions. I will get back to it, but like this tour, there's been very little sleep, and like, and doing this book has really consumed my time, but I will get back to it. Thank you.
I don't know how much time we have, but is there another? Yeah.
Aside from fronting my favorite band, which band would you choose to front if you could?
I've already done it, my friend. Not Lamb of God. I sing for Bad Brains sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I've done it. There's a gentleman in the back. This side we haven't.
Just a quick question. What do you do to deal with writer's block?
Okay, I can't remember what author said it, but he said, I only write when inspiration strikes. Luckily, inspiration strikes every morning at 9 a.m. when I sit down at my desk and I write. And what he is saying, that doesn't mean like I sit down and awesomeness is going to come out. You know what I mean? It sucks. Sometimes you're like, I don't know what to do, but it's a fucking choice. You sit your ass down, you put ass in chair. That is the hardest fucking part of writing a book, right? Is to put ass in chair every day, consistently, at the same time. Do not get up. Do not check Facebook. Do not fucking go shopping for hot sauce. Like, do not start doing the fucking windows. Do not start vacuuming. Do not start doing all these things, which I started doing when I started writing. I've never washed windows in my life. You know, I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, there's cobwebs up there. I better scrub the fucking outside of the windows. What the fuck? You know, I'm running away from writing. So you sit down, like, whether you're inspired or not, too, and make yourself look at it. You know, they say writing's easy. You just stare at the blank screen until your eyeballs bleed. That's how it does it for me. You know, and I find that if I sit down every day consistently, I develop a rhythm, and the block is not a problem.
What are some of your favorite books?
Okay, yes. And this is very easy. You go to consequence.net, and I just answered that question. There's 10 books I think everyone should read. One of them is Please Kill Me by Legs McNeil. One is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. One is Beach Music by Pat Conroy. One is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Buren. And there's like 6 other ones. So 10 books I think everyone should read. Thank you so much for coming here tonight, man.
Thank you.